I've got a station already set up, and since everyone's going to ask, those are chickpeas. They're soaking. They're dry chickpeas from the bulk bins, and my roommate Lauren's going to make hummus out of them later. So what I've already done is chopped up some cucumber. This cucumber is really good and hydrating for you. And then this is actually yellow squash. It's a sunburst squash that I grew in John's garden during the summer and have just stored this long. It had a kind of harder outer shell. This skin was pretty tough. It was definitely a big sunburst squash. So I'm juicing that, and it actually makes, I started already, this beautiful yellow juice. And when I saw that yellow juice coming out, I was like, that's when I said to myself, man, I need to stop and get the camera because this is just beautiful. And I don't know how many people know that you can juice sunburst squash as well as zucchini. Aloe vera, which is really good for your intestines and your digestive health and your skin. And then I have a beautiful beet here. I don't know if you've ever seen these kind. They're called the Chihuahua beets, and they're striped almost like a candy cane. When I cut that, which I'll do in a minute, I'll show you how beautiful it looks when you cut it across as well. And then I juice all this green stuff. These usually have huge leaves, but I already used those in a juice previously. Beet greens are really good in juice, but I'm still going to use this stubby stuff to get some extra nutrients in the juice. Then there's going to be an orange for a nice citrus tang. And of course, last but certainly not least, is my huge bag of bok choy that I picked from the Growing Your Greens garden that I've been fertilizing myself. And that is definitely going in the juice by the masses, because there is no food that is more nutrient dense and healthier than greens. So I like to get tons of greens in my juice and in my diet in general every single day. Let's get to juicing. Alright, so this is the Omega 8005. It doesn't have the groove here to fit these juice cups in properly, so I'm just letting you know that. If you're a juice expert and you notice that. But let's get going. Turn the juicer on. Grab my pieces of pre-cut sunburst squash, and I'm sorry I didn't show that to you guys before I started, but like I said, I didn't realize how cool this was until I'd already begun. But it was a sunburst squash with the bigger seeds, almost like a butternut squash size seeds. And those, yes, I'm putting them right through the juicer. They actually have protein and nutrients that when juiced get all broken down so that they're really easy to assimilate and absorb into your body. Healthy amino acids. I saw a Vitamix demonstration one time where they blended the seeds of a cantaloupe, and we're talking about the riches of protein and nutrients in the seeds of a cantaloupe that suddenly become available when you blend it like that into a whole food smoothie. So then I'm going to alternate a little bit of my nice hydrating cucumbers, skin and all. I did wash this. And if you get the non-organic cucumbers because you're on a budget and they have the waxed skin, then you should peel it off. But otherwise, there's a lot of nutrients to be had in that skin. I'm going to grab some orange. Now, you can see how I peeled this. I left tons of the white pith on, because that is actually really high in vitamin C and healthy for you. So I'm just going to feed that right through. And then the aloe vera, don't be afraid of it, it has thorns. You can peel this if you want, fillet it, and just put the jelly meat. See if I can show you that a little bit here. See how there's like jelly meat inside? You could just scrape the jelly meat in if you're afraid of the taste of the skin, because some varieties of aloe have a more bitter skin than others. But I just put that all through. I am definitely not picky. I'm sure I will have tasted worse. And there you can see it comes out. It's a little bit gooey, and that mucilaginous texture is what's so healthy for keeping your digestive tract running smoothly. More squash, more orange, and then let me put the camera down for a minute and cut that beet so you guys can see what that looks like. So there you go, that's the Chihuahua or candy cane striped beet. It really is that beautiful and tastes pretty similar. Of course you can cook and roast cook these up like you can any other beet, but even better, you can juice them and get their nutrients in raw. Just feeds right in there. And this is good to get a vegetable with a firmer texture after I've been putting in the soft cucumber and aloe. Helps the juicer function best if you kind of alternate between the harder and the more watery vegetables. And look at the beautiful array of colors I'm getting here. Oh my goodness, this is what's so great about juicing. Just look at that, it's like Easter time. Yellows and greens and pinks. And since I haven't stirred the juice yet, you can see all those colors separated. It's like a piece of art. This makes drinking juice exciting. And what's so good about tantalizing your other senses, like the sight of all of this and the smell of the fresh juice, is that it super gets you excited for drinking it. My mouth is already watering. So now I made room for my lovely bok choy hearts that I grew myself. And the cool thing about the 8000 series juicers is you don't need to cut these greens at all. You can just take their stems and it just sucks them right in. And it's not just for bok choy, you can do this with parsley, collards, any green, stem first, and just watch the juicer suck it in itself. No chopping, no pushing. Basically effortlessly self-feeding the bok choy in there, and out comes your luscious, rich, and nutrient-dense green juice. Ooh, look, here's a little piece of flowering bok choy. Now I'm going to get the healthy benefits of the pollen in that flower. Okay, so once that's done, you guys have probably seen me do this before, like to strain my juice. I just think the juice tastes better when it's strained. And this step is definitely not essential, but for me, it actually is. So, I don't need to stir this since I'm not going to drink it yet. And you're supposed to quick put this pulp catch under there so you don't drip anything like I just did. And now, nice and easy, strain that juice. That stirred it up for me. So now you can see it's a dark green healthy juice. And one thing I do a lot when I'm juicing is I take my dirty juice bin cup and put some purified water in there to get the last bits out, and then I pour it through the strainer. And this helps get a little bit more of the juice going through the strainer, but it also waters down my juice a little bit, which makes it taste not as strong, but it also gets me more hydration. It's an opportunity to get more water in my diet, which is never a bad thing. And to be honest, my juice doesn't always work out tasting awesome, but that's never a problem. My solution to any juice that's a little bit off is not to waste it. I don't throw any juice out. I simply add lemon and apple. And those two things, when you add enough of them to anything, will make it taste good. So I'm gonna sample this juice here and then determine whether I need to juice a little apple or lemon in there to go with it. So last step is to pour it in your glass vessel of choice. Taste it. Get a green mustache. Do I have one now? That's really good actually. It's mild. I thought I was gonna probably have to add an apple because I didn't put much of anything sweet in here, but the orange. But to be honest with you, the cucumber and the sunburst squash are both very mild additions to juice and will water any strong flavor down. So my greens are perfectly balanced and I'm completely happy with my breakfast. That first juice in the morning is always the best.